I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. At this point, I've done all I could do, and I've ran for as long as I could run. And now my body is basically telling me, okay, I'm gonna give you this last game, and after that, it's all recreational. I played 22 years, and then we don't even talk about all of the playing that I played before I got to high school. I mean, before I got to college to go to the NBA. So it's a lot of basketball, and for myself, I think I played more basketball than anybody, growing up. From just playing in New York, playing all over the world, playing different states. I played a lot of basketball growing up. I wasn't the traditional. I mean, like now, it's more organized as far as kids play one place. They don't play outside. They play like AAU. I played on concrete, sometimes grass, the snow. I've done it all. So, having all of those experiences and then leading up into now, I'm happy to be able to say that I'm retiring tomorrow. Basketball, I'll continue to help build the youth. There are other things that I'm working on that, I'm still doing all of my stuff with my brand with Starbury and getting that to continue to grow and flourish. I'm working on some other projects, but mainly staying in basketball and doing the same things that I've been doing on the business side. When I first came here, I didn't have nothing in mind. I just was coming here to play basketball and to try to help build my brand. To evolve, it just made it easier to make the decision to want to live here based upon how I was being treated, based upon all of the different things that were happening, winning championships, statues, museums. You just don't leave that type of stuff. Being that I was an older basketball player and I've already experienced that whole process of fan hype, it really wasn't about that at all. It was more so about how they would treat me as a person. You can tell the difference between a fan and a person treating you a certain way, and I just felt like it was more of like my connection with them and my spirit and who I was as a human being. It basically manifested amongst the people, and they were able to actually understand who I was as a human being. And being that I was understood, it was easy for me to express because people was understanding me without me even speaking their language. Now I'll have way more time to acclimate myself towards learning the language, and it's already inside of me. I just got to pull it out, and I think now is the time for me to be able to do that. I have the time. There's no excuse. One, two, I'm not playing. My mind isn't consumed with things that are really important, which trying to win games, that's a main focus. But I think I'll get there. It takes time to build anything, and to build something in a foreign country is even harder. I just feel like we have a social responsibility to continue to make sure that we govern the minds of the young generation and allowing them to understand that things, one, don't cost that much to make, and two, not everyone is able to buy the most affordable, most expensive things. So being able to create something that's affordable for people, it creates access for all for them. I say love is love because I believe love is God and God is love. So that's why I say love is love. Monday, I'm going to my museum, and then I'll be signing autographs for some of the fans. So that'll be like a fan appreciation give back thing. I mean, it never stops. Just because you're not playing, that don't mean it's gonna stop. I'm probably gonna be even busier, but no running though. At that time, I was depressed. I was going through a lot of different things and playing basketball. I had lost some family members, and then my father died. And then, my father died. My mom, she was on her deathbed like 3 weeks later after we buried my dad. So things just was getting a little spirally. I was dealing with so much at one time, and people dying in succession. I'm talking about like 1 week, a week later, 2 weeks. And then, you know, I wasn't playing basketball because I was dealing with so much with playing with the Knicks. And then I had stopped playing basketball. You know, opportunities just came about for me to come and play basketball here. And, you know, when it was posed to me about coming to play basketball here, I was just like, China. You know, I didn't know nothing about China. The only thing I knew about China was the Great Wall and Yao Ming. I knew nothing. And I was just like, you know, I don't know about that, you know, about going to play basketball there. That's kind of far. I'll go and see. And I ain't never go back. Yeah. My first year I was here, I was like, I loved it based upon how I was being treated. You know, I landed to about 4,000 to 5,000 people screaming after being depressed, flying from, you know, one place where you're going through so much, and then you land and you get to another country and people are greeting you with smiles and screaming and happy. So your spirits completely rise and lift. And that happened, and then I started to play here, and I saw that it was completely different, and that, you know, the guys weren't as talented as the NBA. It wasn't the same level, but it was competitive and it was hard. It wasn't easy because of trying to play consistent every game. And then I just said I want to stay here and I want to keep trying to figure it out. And then I just stayed and just melted right in. I mean, I was already definitely here to myself, you know, and I think from them seeing that, they basically was like, well, we need to get this guy, we need to let him have a green card because he's pretty much not going anywhere based upon how I felt and my expression towards how I was feeling. When I'm in a game, I mean, I'm a completely different person. Like, I'm not the same human being playing basketball and off the court. As far as, I'm the same person, but I'm not the same person as far as my mentality and what it is that I'm trying to accomplish and what I'm trying to do. It's so hard to win, you know, to win a game is really challenging and it's hard. So, you know, you got to put everything on the line and put everything into what it is that you're trying to do. And then when I'm sitting down, I'm just basically, one, catching my breath as fast as I can, my breathing, and I'm observing the mood and the feeling of how we're playing and the temperament of the game. So when I go back into the game, I'll know what I need to do to change the game. You don't move the same way that you used to move, and it takes longer to recover. And I said that I wanted to feel everything this year. I wanted to feel all of the pain. I wanted to feel all of the whatever injury I had, I was gonna play through it. Anything that went on. I mean, I almost broke my thumb the other day. I've been playing with a bad thumb before the Guangzhou game, actually. That was probably my highest scoring points that I've scored in the last 5 years playing basketball here. Tired, man. I'm tired. I'm really tired. You know, it's time. I was talking to my mom this morning. She was like, boy, it's about time. You've been doing this for 22 years. And I'm like, I know. She was like, I know you tired. She was like, I know you tired. You've been doing this all your life, Stephon. Ever since you was a little baby, you've been playing basketball. You know, it's time to start thinking about your body so you can live a healthy life. And I was like, yeah, Mom, you're right. You know, when you get tired, you just know when it's going to be over. They don't want me to leave. They want me to stay. They want me to play. I'm not changing my mind. What's done is done.